You were at school throughout the war then?
Yes. We had lots of evacuees, either from Edmonton, Bristol. The schoolrooms were packed. We even were taught in this Sunday school here, in the Methodist Sunday school, in the parish hall, in the lobbies. Baptist Chapel, where I don't
Tell
remember
Margaret
that.
how the classes had to change over and go out for walks, picking foxglove leaves and such like, so another class could take over the, it was a rota, yeah.
So that you could,
Seat and
them
have
all,
lessons, yeah. So you'd go for a walk up over the hills and pick foxgloves or whatever, rose hips. It was done through a government scheme. They were collected from Hemyock.
Through Devon County Council?
Yeah, something like. Yeah, we picked them in tins, baskets, anything, and then we tipped them in boxes when we got to the school.
Yes.
And then somebody I don't know who, but somebody collected them.
For Devon County Council?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure who took them or whatever. Some war organisation, yes, yeah. And they done the same with the foxglove leaves. The school teachers used to take the classes out.
How did they persuade you to do it? Because I mean,
it wasn't a question of persuading us. I mean, it was great fun to do. It was great fun to do that because it's better than having lessons, wasn't it?
You were released from your classroom, weren't you?
Yeah, you all trained off.
And everybody pulled together in those days, didn't they?
But how did they persuade them to? Because we don't have any pulling together spirit now. I mean, did the
they
teachers
didn't.
let
You had
them
to.
talk?
But you did in those days
Because it wasn't a land of plenty, was it?
It was survival, you see. I mean, I know when I was at school, they used to allow us so many days off to pick potatoes or help farmers.
Yes, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and we were paid in them days 4p an hour. I can remember that, and I'd rather be picking potatoes than doing lessons. So I never had to be persuaded.
But did the teachers tell you what was going on in the world, like the war, or did you just get it from the radio at home?
Didn't have a radio at home. I was about 10 before we had a radio, and great excitement because we had to have wires and we had to have accumulators, and they leaked. If they weren't level, the acid would leak from them, and they'd burn holes in your, doilies or your tablecloths or whatever, and it would last for about a week, I should think. And Mr. Doble from Doble's Garage, he just had that little shop across the road that is Mr. Summers's. Do you know the one?
Oh, yes, I know what you mean.
And next to the Catholic church, and you'd take it there and he would charge your batteries for you.
That's because you didn't have electricity at home.
We didn't have electricity.
No.
Well, we never had electricity when we was married.
And when he installed a radio for us, he had a large pole at the end of the garden with all this wire leading from it, to get a reception.
Oh, the aerial was.
Yes. But great excitement. I can remember dancing around the kitchen because we had a radio. Great excitement.
So you didn't get your news of the war from the radio, obviously?
We had the Daily Express. I can remember we had the Daily Express.
Yes,
and I used to read that and read all about it and think horrific.
There was a thing in those days, Margaret, called rumours. Somebody would start a rumour and it'd go all round.
Nothing's changed, has it?
Oh, no, nothing changed,
I followed everything that the Queen and the princesses were doing because they were of an age, similar to a little bit older, admittedly.
Yes.
The interest was there. We had 4 evacuees staying with us, and they were issued with little camp beds, almost like stretcher, like a stretcher.
Oh, yes.
And then it's slotted into a head and a foot.
Oh, that's
And it was made of hessian, and they were issued with a blanket. I don't know about a pillow. 10 shillings a week my mother used to get for them.
What, for each of them? Oh, that's better, yeah.
Yeah. But we did have eggs and rabbits. Didn't have cream.
Oh, you didn't make cream then, did you? No, wasn't allowed.
No.
You had fresh vegetables and all the things that we never had in London.
We grew vegetables and that sort of thing.
Was that in the school garden and at home?
Well, we had a school garden as well, where the play park is now. And each child was allotted a little plot.
And what did you grow?
Carrots, onions, potatoes. We had little flower beds. The girls had little flower beds.
Yeah, you did. The men, boys didn't, see. They had only vegetables.
Yeah.
And what did you do with those vegetables? Do they have to be collected off somewhere, or?
I think they were given to harvest festivals or something like that. Maybe.
You didn't keep.
We didn't
take
keep
them home.
No, not that I can remember.
And what did they do the harvest festival ones? Give them to the poor people?
I think they went to the hospital,
Hospitals
Wellington Hospital or somewhere like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
And we also used to gather primroses in the spring to send to London for hospitals, and it used to be put in little boot boxes, pack them in tightly and water them well, and they'd be sent off to London hospitals.
On the train?
On a train, yes. Yeah, because we had a little train down there.
Yes.
That train was a good service to London.
Good, very good, wasn't
Yes,
it? That's what I've
marvellous,
heard.
But really, I was more isolated than a lot of people where I lived because we were always busy working. There was
On
always
farm,
plenty of
yeah.
work to do. Whereas I've got friends that went to guides and things like that. I never went to the guides. Or anything
No,
like
because you're always working at home.
that. Yeah.